need to open a window. No, then people will hear me. They can't hear me talk about books. Will that be weird? I guess it'd be weird if they saw this anyway. Well, you know, I'd need to have thoughts. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Storytime with Sid and I am Sydney and it's nice to have you here. First and foremost, I just want to thank MJ at Reading This Life. She just like sent a flood of human beings who are so wonderful and so kind over to my channel, so please always check her channel out. I will leave it linked down below. Again, I can't say thank you enough to all you amazing humans for subscribing and watching all my videos and commenting and liking. None of it would be possible without her sending you guys my way, so thank you all. I'm so excited to get to talk about books with all of you. Today I'm going to be talking about The Picture of Dorian Gray. It was a read-along that MJ did on her channel. Everyone that participated, their channels will be linked down below. We kind of talked about it throughout the Discord server, which I will also have linked down below. It's MJ's server. And just my thoughts overall on Dorian Gray specifically. Yeah, so let's just get right into it because this video is probably not going to be super long. Okay, so my thoughts on Dorian Gray. The Picture of Dorian Gray is a classic. I don't know when it was written, but it's a very like gothic era. Whoa, lost my voice there. It's a very gothic era classic book. This is actually probably like my first, I don't know, like horror? It's not even horror. There's nothing like scary about it. But it's just definitely like a different genre than like literal fantasy books. I've read quite a few classics, if you remember like where I started filming in front of. I made it my goal last year to listen to a whole bunch of classics. And so far I haven't really picked up, like, I haven't picked up Dracula, I haven't picked up Frankenstein, so those would kind of like, I think, fit more into the genre of The Picture of Dorian Gray. But if you don't know, The Picture of Dorian Gray kind of follows Dorian, and it follows Lord Henry and Basil Hallward. These characters are very different from one another, and they kind of all represent different things. But the main storyline is that Basil is an artist and he paints a picture of Dorian for him to have. And Lord Henry is kind of just like a side character that ends up kind of being Dorian's mentor. For good or for bad, it's up to you. They paint the picture. Dorian kind of makes like a wish. It kind of has like a deal with the devil type thing where he wishes that the portrait projected like all the aging, like the signs of aging and the signs of wear and tear that life puts on you, and it ends up happening. So he remains young and beautiful and handsome, and the picture shows all the transgressions of his life up until that point. So you know, he's like 40 at this point. And the picture is like extremely decrepit and terrible and evil looking, and yeah, that's literally like the whole plot of the story. There's like a minor subplot, it's pretty small, and he just goes about living his life, and he's kind of a terrible dude when he starts to realize that that is what is happening, because he's like, I'm young and handsome and I can do whatever I want, so I'm fine, I'm chilling, I'm good. Yeah. Now for my thoughts on Dorian Gray. First things first thought right off the bat is these men are so complimentary of each other. Like I typed in the group chat on Discord that I wish somebody would talk to me the way that these men talk to one another. They are just like so flattering and so just kind to one another. So that's like hard to kind of get used to. But that kind of gets put on the back burner as the story moves along. The first like like 4 or 5 chapters are really, really interesting because now that I've like finished it and read it all, I think that the first couple chapters, they have like such deep and meaningful and like profound quotes, and like it just doesn't match the same story that it's telling. It ends up kind of just like being like these beautiful, like Lord Henry is kind of like very philosophical. I know that people were talking in the Discord about like how these different characters were supposed to represent different kind of like personalities for Oscar Wilde, and like they represented different things for him. Lord Henry is like a pessimistic atheist, kind of like live your life to the fullest, screw everybody else. And it kind of like takes Dorian under his wing and like starts to kind of like show him that it just shouldn't matter. Like nothing should matter to him. He's cute, he's handsome, do whatever you want. I think Dorian Gray before he meets Lord Henry sounds like a wonderful human being, and I wish we would have gotten to know that Dorian, because that would have been a lot of fun. Basil is obviously my favorite character. He's wonderful, and the way that he describes his art, like the way that he professes to Lord Henry about this portrait and how it's the best portrait it's the best thing he's ever painted, and how it's just a reflection of himself and how much he loves his art, and even Dorian to a certain degree. He admires him so much for his way of life and his free spirit and stuff before he meets Lord Henry. I just think the whole thing overall was definitely not like horror level. Definitely fits the Gothic theme. I think like the era that it was written in fits really, really well. But again, I just was kind of like, there'd be these beautiful and profound like, oh my god, I wish that I could tab this in my audiobook, which is the downfall to audiobooks. I don't get to like annotate or tab my favorite stuff, but regardless, like I was like, wow, there's so many thoughts and quotes and stuff that I just feel like are such a beautiful way to write the story, but I'd obviously have to buy the book. And I didn't enjoy it enough, I think, to buy the book, unfortunately. But yeah, my thoughts are kind of like all over the place. The profound quotes and stuff I thought were fascinating, and he wrote them extremely well. There were so many things where I was like, wow, that is so true. Like as an artist and someone who, I do photography if you don't know, but like as someone who has art, I really like reflected on the thought that like the way that you take pictures, in my case, reflects who you are a lot as a person, was really, really interesting. And just like how it kind of came about at the end of the story, how he was like, no, I feel like now it's actually more a reflection of you and less a reflection of me. That storyline was kind of very, very interesting. But please let me know what you guys thought of Dorian Gray. Again, everyone that participated in the group read, I will link their channels below. Please go check them out. We all did a video on Dorian Gray. So everyone's thoughts were very, very different. So please go check out their videos, because I'm sure that I had very different thoughts than a lot of other people. Overall, I'd probably rate the book out of like 10, I don't know, probably like a 4 seems really low, but I think I'd do a 4. And the only reason I think it gets a 4 is because of the quotes and like the things that I was like, wow, that was extremely good writing. But let me know if you've read the book, or if you participated in the group read. Please let me know what you guys thought down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for hanging out. Bye!